Our guest today is Mr. Akim Salam. Akim Salam is currently the head of business development and strategy for Nine Payment Service Bank. And myself, my name is Abayomi Olomu. And the topic that we're discussing today, just as I said earlier on, we're talking about how do we drive financial inclusion through innovative digital payment solutions. And I also mentioned that prior to now, a lot of discussions about financial inclusion had been about including individuals, getting individuals to be financially included. But our focus today is slightly different. We'll be looking at how do we get small and medium scale enterprises, those businesses, how do we get them to be financially included? So for us to start, I will lay a background to this phrase, financial inclusion, that everybody throws around. What does financial inclusion, what does it actually mean? What does it mean to be financially included, or what does it mean to be financially excluded, so to say?
Thank you very much, Abayomi. I'm very excited to be here today, and it gives me joy when I have the opportunity of discussing about financial inclusion, because by virtue of even the regulator CBN establishing payment service banks, we are meant to drive financial inclusion. And what does that mean? It sounds like a buzzword. Everybody's talking about financial inclusion. What does it mean in practical terms? It's talking about the access of people, individuals, businesses to product and services, financial service, products and services that will improve their living and lives generally. So when people have access to payment solutions, savings, insurance, credit facilities, and all that. And unfortunately, Nigerians, just like the rest of Africa, there are still a very large gap in that bridging the financial inclusion gap. And it's important that we have our listeners listening across different channels to be part of this important discussion. It gives me joy to be here today. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Thank you. So when we talk about financial inclusion as a topic, today we are trying to narrow it down to how it impacts businesses in the small and medium scale enterprise generally. So now these are not individuals. So how are they impacted by financial inclusion or financial exclusion?
All right. Thank you very much. So it's important to understand the nature of businesses in Nigeria. From MBS survey, it shows that about 40 million Nigerians are involved in one micro or small businesses here and there. And these are individuals. Practically, will you see, even people who do 8 to 5 work, still have a side hustle. They're doing something one way or the other. So when we talk about financial inclusion, now we are trying to narrow it to the business side of things. We're still talking about individuals who are business owners. They are entrepreneurs, right? Most of them are self-starter, doing something on the side and all that. So as we talk about the financial inclusion relating to individuals who run businesses, it means that we're actually talking about how does this financial inclusion impact on individuals who own businesses. Yeah. And it's important that we put it in that context. 40 million is a lot of numbers.
Yes.
There are more than 40 million of those who belong to this category in Nigeria today. And it's important that we're discussing it, and viewers listening to us everywhere across the different channels should just stay glued to this program for them to be educated and then be entertained. Thank you.
Thank you very much. So one of the reasons why we are having this webinar is because for us in RoutePay FinTech Limited, we are very conscious of the challenges that MSMEs face when it comes to playing in the financial services space, and how being financially excluded impacts their business negatively. So one of the things that we're trying to do today is to tell people that RoutePay FinTech Limited has bouquet of products and services that can help them. We'll still go into that, but at least we have bouquet of products and services that can help them to overcome the challenges that they typically face when it comes to being financially included. So moving on, how can they leverage digital payments to improve the way they manage their finances? So a typical small-scale enterprise today will not have a core banking or a core payment or a core transaction infrastructure, so to say. So most of them, in fact, some of them, the highest they do when it comes to technology is to write their transactions on Excel, while some of them will do on paperwork. So how can digital payment help them to improve in their financial management?
Thank you very much. When we talk about digital payments for improving the experience of the users, in this case the MSME, which we are focusing on for the financial management, is important for record keeping sake, right? Today, there are a lot of people, just like you said, they cannot even account. They don't know how much sales they make per day. Some of them are still in the habit of collecting cash, because we run a cash economy and they still collect cash. Cash has its own disadvantages. One of them is cash suppression. You have people working with you. Oftentimes, this MSME have 2, 3, 4 people working with them.
Yes.
Since you cannot really trace cash when it's missing, it becomes difficult for them to account properly for their business sales because cash are lost either in transit. There are cases of counterfeit notes. Even. Sometimes you get counterfeit notes and all that. So there's also a challenge of change. So somebody has bought something but is making a payment and he needs to get balance, which people call it on the street, change. Yes. Then it leaves them to struggle how to balance the book at the end of the day.
Yes.
So the owner of the business does not even know how much money he has sold each day, let alone to have an idea of how much profits they have made. With digital payment solutions, it becomes easier because there is now visibility of how much sales that is being made. There is audit trail of the payments and the method of payment that is being made. And at any given point in time, with additional benefits for digital payments, can also help them to immediately calculate what their net margin of profits on a particular product is.
Thank you very much. So I was talking to someone recently, a sole proprietor, and we're having this discussion about this, how digital payment channels can help their business, particularly his business. And he said to me, Abayomi, when I sell to people, when I part with my goods, they pay me cash and I put the cash in my pocket. If I touch my pocket, I can feel the cash. But when I put my product on a digital channel, then somebody pays me, and then all I get is an assurance that the transaction is successful, and then my money is coming. And then maybe it takes another 1 day or 2 days before I get that money in my account. And then he said to me that that's a major challenge. He said, some of us, we don't have that deep pocket where we can wait for long before we get the money in. It's part of this money that will roll over again to go and buy stock. So we can't wait for long. So I was trying to tell you that, look, one of the things that we're trying to do, in RoutePay, is we'll create wallets for you. So when we give you a digital wallet, when you do transactions and your customers buy from you, the money enters your digital wallet immediately. So I said, look at your digital wallet the way you see your pocket, the physical pocket in your trousers. So you can see your digital wallet and see that your money is sitting in your wallet, and then you can do your transaction the way you want. Good to know that we have a partnership with 9PSB to drive the digital wallet system. So how do you think we can actually enhance the usage of digital wallets to drive financial inclusion?
Very good question. So you've actually created a very fantastic use case, especially with the changing prices of goods and items. Similar scenario usually happens with merchants. These MSMEs, they are into buying and selling of items. So they may buy a product in the morning and maybe a few hours after, the price of product have changed.
Yes.
So it's important for providers, RoutePay in partnership with 9PSB, providing those kind of services that give instant value, not just notification. It's not just an assurance that a payment has been received. There's actually a real value of money that if they choose to use it to make a repurchase, they can actually have access to that money. So it gives them those form of mental, safety of their funds, that everything is ready. And we being a bank in partnership with as a 9PSB in this case, in partnership with RoutePay, gives that assurance that your money is safe in a CBN licensed bank. Yes. So with payments, in wallet digital payments, the MSM is assured that I will not just get the notification or assurance that there is money coming for payment I received, they also have immediate value of their money in their wallet. So it's very innovative for RoutePay in partnership with PSB to have this kind of solution. I think we are trying to address a critical concern for most of these MSME.
Thank you very much. So they also have concerns around security. They can't build security infrastructure apart from the fact that the cost implication and some other challenges that they have. So they also have concern about security. So how do we leverage digital payment infrastructure to help them achieve and address the issue of security of their transaction, security of their funds, etc.?
Yeah, thank you very much. When it comes to payments, one critical component of payments is that security. And in payment service by PSB, we don't joke with security, and we also select our partners carefully when we are doing this collaboration. That's why we chose a partner like RoutePay, so that as they onboard customers, the MSMEs on these platforms, these transactions are secure end to end. All right, because we have built state-of-art infrastructure. As a bank, you could imagine the level of investments that you have made in such an infrastructure. So it's even more secure to use the digital payment option than cash, because if, God forbid, the people of the underworld comes and they cut it with cash and that's it. But with digital payment, there are traces, there are audits that are also made available to the merchant to trace where funds are sitting or where they are. So I think it's important for MSMEs to start considering that, right? Going through our partners like RoutePay to have these kind of services that will give them peace of mind. They can monitor the transaction real time through their mobile devices, through their laptop, anywhere they are. So it's no longer a case of I'm not in the shop, I don't know what they have sold. It will not happen. And then digital payment allows them to scale. We see people who live in Ikeja and selling to customers who are in Abuja and Abeokuta and everywhere. So beyond physical limitations, digital payment allows that ability to scale, even without necessarily having to have multiple shops across the whole country.
Thank you very much. So we've talked about financial management tools, and we also talked about digital wallet. What other solutions around digital payment infrastructure that the MSMEs can adopt to help them get financially included?
All right. Thank you very much. It's important as the business owners, there are certain eventualities that you may not even anticipate. So part of the package for financial inclusion is insurance. So as providers, we can also leverage insurance so that we can be able to ensure there are goods, items are being moved in transit. Anything can go wrong. So apart from having digital wallet and be able to accept digital payment, it's also important that start considering insurance as one of the products for them to be financially included. And I'm sure RoutePay, working with partners such like PSB and others, can also extend these services to them through the same channel. So you give them a one-stop shop across through your platform so that they have access to all of these services together.
Thank you very much for mentioning that. For RoutePay, insurance is ensuring the safety of the transaction that you've done with us. Ensuring the safety of your business is very, very critical to us. That's why in our bouquet of services, we have insurance solutions as well. We do this in partnership with reputable insurance companies in the industry already. Okay, so the major interest of every business owner is to make profits.
We are in for profits.
So if we mention, no matter whatever it is that we mention and talk about today, if we are not telling MSMEs how they can leverage digital payment solutions, digital payment platforms to improve on their profitability, I'm not sure we have touched anything. So what are the things that they need to do? How do they go about it? What solutions are out there for them to leverage so that their profitability is enhanced? Now, I want us to look at profitability from two perspectives. One perspective is managing your expense and blocking holes, and then the other perspective is growing your business and then generating more revenue.
Correct. Thank you very much. Like we said earlier, the adoption of digital payment solution will help any business owner to scale. So if you are selling 10 before, now you are selling 100. It means that you're going to earn your revenue capacity. Your capacity to earn more revenue is increasing because digital platforms of payment solutions allows that scale in a manner that does not increase your cost in proportional ratio. So for anybody who is willing to do well or better in business, in fact, it's becoming more and more important and critically important for MSMEs to look into their costs, because the cost of goods and services are increasing.
Yes.
And the buyers are also sensitive to price increase. So the margins are turning out, right? But there is also a high cost of managing cash in itself. You have to have security. If there to be 10 million naira cash here, for example, you have to have strong men with some guns and security. So those
security
also
funds.
exactly. But when you have it in digital manner that you have earlier discussed, is secure end to end. The cost of even running transactions, one of the things that lowers the adoption of digital payment options is the cost of transaction. For us at 9PSV, working with our partners, we have made sure that the cost per transaction is very minimal and something that is cost effective and affordable. So selling more gives more profits, generally speaking, and then reducing your cost. You don't need to have too many shopkeeping, manual operations and others, because the solution you are giving to them help them to automate their processes end to end. So it lowers the number of people headcount that you need to employ, while at the same time it increases your ability to sell more and increase your revenue. So ultimately, when you minus the cost from the revenue, the margin becomes bigger, and that's profit for them.
Yeah. Okay. Now that we are talking about profit, I mean, there's one thing to make money. There's another thing for you to be able to identify that you have made the money. So how does digital accounting? Now, before the accounting process is through paper, through Excel. So how do they leverage digital accounting to ensure that they have a full view of the total expense and the profit or revenue that they are generating for their business?
Yeah, thank you very much. So as everything becomes digitalized now, the MSME, now have good visibility of what they are selling, how much was the cost, and how much, and the tools that you are giving to them to manage their products, the services, goods and services also helps them on the fly. They can know how much money, looking at what the amount of the cost of goods that have been sold, what's the revenue that has been generated from there. So immediately they can tell how much profit they made. One of the greatest disadvantages of having to keep records either in Excel or in paper with the traditional method with MSME is that they may not be able to tell at any given point in time how much profit they have actually made. So they end up spending more than what they actually generate. At the end of the day, the business begins to go down, and they wonder, where is my money going to? Some of them even think it's a spiritual issue, it's a spiritual issue. So, but adopting these solutions, for the viewers looking at us, it sounds like a joke, but it's not really actually a joke. I have had a practical experience where I needed to help somebody to keep record of how much they are selling, how much they are spending. I realized that they spend more than what they make in a day. So they are already started eating from the capital. But with the digital solutions that RoutePay in partnership with 9PSV is giving to the customers, it helps to track all of those revenue as well as costs. So immediately they can know and determine what their profits are, so that they can manage the business better.
Okay. So a couple of days back, one of the customers of RoutePay called me, and he was very ecstatic, very happy. And I waited for him to calm down to understand. And he was telling me that he used the RoutePay mobile app to pay for electricity bill, by token. And he realized that the receipt that he got after the transaction has his address and other details. And because of that, he could use that receipt as a utility bill.
Correct.
You understand?
Yes.
So before now, it's funny how you have to wait for a document. So, but he already has the receipt. All he did was just from RoutePay, he printed the receipt. The receipt had this, and he submitted it as utility bill. And then when he presented it, typically, what does a utility bill carry? Address, details of the, and it was okay. Which means that essentially digital payment solutions work for MSME. So thank you very much. I just said I should just chip that in. We've talked about the role that mobile wallet plays. We've talked about how it can help profitability. Do you have any stories that you can share with us around? I know I've mentioned too about the sole proprietor and the other person that called me about the utility bill, but do you want to share with us some experiences that you've had with people who probably before now had not adopted digital payment solution, but now they are having the best of life?
Yeah, of course. There are many actually, but I think the one, thank you very much about, I get so emotional when we discuss financial inclusion because, because we play actively in this space and we get to see all of these stories, we get to hear about the different use cases. There are a particular customer that says every night after selling in a day, he has to come back home and then start counting the money. So he has to spend time. When he's counting, he has to lock the door because he don't want somebody to come in. He spends time almost like another 2 to 3 hours counting the money, trying to sort 1,000 to 500 so that he now take physically to his bank the next day, which digital payments will have actually helped to resolve. So on the introduction of the customer to digital payments, that he was using with our partner RoutePay, it gave the kind of testimony that anytime he closes now, he has time to go and do other things with the family. He gets home, he eats his dinner, normal time, he gets back because he can actually see how much he has sold directly on his mobile. He doesn't need to now start counting money again. Several times he counts the money this morning and this evening. The next morning before going to the bank, he has to recount it because he doesn't know whether somebody has come to touch the money. But all of these now, and when he was sleeping, he always be remembering where he kept this money. He'll be using one night to say, I hope nobody is coming in. So this is peace of mind that we are talking about when you adopt digital payments. And good enough that RoutePay is doing very well in that space, helping MSME to become more sophisticated because without them having to invest in so much of infrastructure, having to spend so much money for security and all that, they are getting the solution that can help them to scale their business. It's a lot. If you ask me, it gives you peace of mind. You do your business, just focus on what is important. Go and sell more. Your money is collected and you have it in your wallet immediately it's sold. There's nothing that can be as better.
Make a lot of sense. Thank you very much. So again, this is financial services. We cannot talk about financial services without talking about the role that the regulators play in driving and ensuring that everybody is financially included. So how important do you think the roles they play, and what specific roles do they actually play, our regulators, in driving financial inclusion? Kudos to the Central Bank of Nigeria for so many initiatives that they pushed and that has really helped so far to grow the volume of the number of people that are now financially included compared to where we were before.
Yes, thank you very much, Abayomi. So we're not where we want to be, but this is not where we used to be. Before now, it was difficult. It was easier for a camel to pass through the eye of a needle than for you to open a bank account like 10, 12 years ago when we were talking when some of us started banking. You have to fill a long form, right? But with the introduction of tier 1, tier 2 that allows customers to onboard even with minimal documentation, it has really greatly helped. Many people, in fact, who could have imagined my grandmother has a bank account now, as a wallet. It wasn't going to happen because she could not even walk to the bank. So the CBN are really doing so well, in partnership with other stakeholders in industry, and I think the reward for good work is just more work.
More work, yes.
There's still more that needs to be done, especially in the area of infrastructure, and awareness is very important, and that is why we also educate people. One of the things that we're doing here today is also financial literacy, financial education. Some people they are educated, but they have Western education. But when it comes to how to manage finances, they don't know so much. So I will encourage most of all the viewers that are looking at us to continue to follow our partners, RoutePay, follow 9PSB for more information about financial education, financial literacy, so that they can know how best to manage their finances and also become better in their businesses. Thank you.
Thank you very much. You touched one critical point, which is the ease of getting onboarded on a digital platform. I've had several comments from people that have used the RoutePay mobile app, and what you hear from them is that this is too good to be true. You understand? Imagine just providing your BVN and your number, and then a tier 1 account is created for you. And then easily you can upgrade your account from from that tier 1 to other tiers and do your transaction with ease. Imagine the form that we used to fill when we want to open an account in those days. So we appreciate the regulators for making this possible for us and for providing those platforms for people to easily onboard on the digital payment solution. So Fintech. How do you think fintech partnership is helping to drive financial inclusion?
Wow, that's also a very emotional question for us because we have multiple partners. The fact remains that the space for financially excluded people is so large. One partner cannot do it all, right? And because of this, it's important that even when we compete, we collaborate also. So we say co-compete. So we have seen a lot of innovative ideas coming from different fintech partnership. RoutePay being one of those partners in this space as well. In 9PSB, we are open to collaboration. We collaborate a lot, and because we believe that we can only go far. If you want to go fast, go alone. But if you want to go far, you go with some partners. So like I said, we carefully selected our partners, and one of them is RoutePay. The journey has not been so easy as it were because you have to navigate certain terrain, but the fact is that we are making progress as we advance in this space. I do not see much difficulties ahead again because we have already passed all of those things. The regulation is much favorable now. Yeah. More and more people have the digital identity, NIN or PVN, that is to create a wallet. So it's becoming easier for people to onboard. Yes, partnership is important, even when we try to compete in that same space. I will encourage that we continue to foster the partnership. It's not a case of winner takes it all. There's always something in each for everybody to earn. So, and it's again to the benefit of the MSMEs, the individuals who are financially excluded. And in the end, it's just to increase the prosperity of the nation. If everybody is okay, then there will be lesser crime. There will be everybody faces their business. Everybody faces their business. Everybody's going on, and the economy also will grow significantly. Kudos to the players too, RoutePay and some other partners and IPSV in doing this work. It's really a social objective and it's a commendable work.
Thank you very much. Thank you for commending RoutePay. We appreciate the partnership with you. Before we close this session, before we call it a day, I would like us to discuss the major takeaways from this discussion. What are those major things that we want to leave with our viewers, people listening to and watching this webinar? What are those things that we want to leave with them around financial inclusion for MSMEs?
Thank you very much. Like we said earlier, viewers at home, viewers in the offices, everywhere you are, in the shop, everywhere you are. When you talk about issue of financial literacy, financial inclusion, it's very important and it's critical for the successful running of your business. So one important thing you need to understand is that you can only get better at things when you try to automate the process because there's just limits. There's a limited effort that human being can do as much. And you tend to spend more when you digitize your processes and also including your payments because people will come to you to say, I want to buy item and they have a limited cash, but they will be able to make payment through transfers and all that. This is even safer for you because you don't need to be worried so much now about fake or counterfeit notes. You don't need to go back home and be counting, and then there is cash suppression, the cash is not complete, and all of those. And then you can now begin to think about taking your business online to sell beyond your physical location. Yeah. Many times we order things from online, they bring it to your office or bring it home. People don't even want to go out again because of fear and others. It's really discouraging people moving around. So rather explore option of buying things online. So we encourage the MSMEs, the prospective MSMEs, because there are other people looking at us that are not yet into business. As you plan to go into your business, look around for players like RoutePay that are providing this kind of services. It costs next to nothing to be onboarded. Yes. But the benefits are enormous. Yes. You cannot imagine you starting a business in less than a year and you're making more profits than somebody who has been in business for multiple years. That's the advantage that they can get from adopting a digital payment solution. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. So before I go, because here we've mentioned wallet several times. Yeah. I want to tell viewers that the term wallet is the same thing as pocket. So your wallet, your RoutePay wallet is like your physical pocket. So when we say that we ensure that money gets into your RoutePay wallet immediately you are doing transaction, we are more or less telling you that money gets to your pocket immediately you are doing.
To any
yes, exactly, and you can actually access your funds at any point in time. So
Correct.
thank you very much, Mr. Hakim Salam. Thank you so much. We appreciate your time. And this. So we welcome questions. Okay, so I understand that we have a couple of questions from viewers, and so we'll attend to those ones quickly. Okay, this question says, despite the increase in the number of Nigerians who now have access to financial services, many people still do not have access to any form of bank account. How do you think we can reach this segment of customers?
Yeah, very fantastic. You know, when we were talking about, thank you very much, one of the viewers that sent in that question. Well, you know, initially when we were talking about it, one of the challenges we mentioned about financial inclusion is awareness, right? People, when they are not aware that there are such services, you know, there is little to nothing that we can do. So yeah. I always believe and I advocate that we should take financial inclusion the same way we have immunization. There is nowhere in Nigeria today that you not see people carrying bags, going about immunizing their children and others. Yeah. So the same way we take this message to everywhere, every nook and cranny, we can as well embark on this social objective, social campaign to create that awareness. Is important.
Yes.
You understand? Once people are aware with the benefits that comes with it, it's easier for them to adopt. Some people will tell you they don't even know it's possible for them to download an app and create a wallet, either a PSB mobile app, Bank Niger, or a RoutePay if they are doing business and they want to quickly download. So all of these are available through the stores. You can go to Play Stores or App Store for you to have access to those things. So I'm sure the person watching us can try and do that immediately. Even before the end of the program, you likely have completed this process. It's very simple and easy to access. Thank you.
Okay. So one of the things that, just as you have said, is that it's a journey. And the first step is making the platform available. Now we can beat our chest that the platforms are available, and not only just available, they are easily accessible. Right. Now we need to intensify the awareness process, get more people to know, get involved in their lives and see that, okay, yes, these things exist and they actually work the way they've been said to work. So there's another question here. Do fintech or digital payment platform get the necessary financial support in Nigeria? If not, what is the way out? So do we get necessary financial support in Nigeria?
All right. I think when we're talking about, me mentioned something. Yes. One of the challenges that we face sometimes is finances, right? But that's not the only challenges that we face. It's not the only challenge that is being faced by fintech, even though it's one of the critical challenges that people face. Right, we welcome, I'm sure RoutePay maybe may speak to that, we welcome investment, but again, government, everybody involved in this ecosystem are also doing their best to ensure that infrastructure, the quality of infrastructure are improved. We're still not yet there, although we are making progresses, but we're still not yet there. If we continue to adopt the option of shared infrastructure, then we begin to lower the cost, because now people will not need to invest from the scratch. Yeah. So you can always partner to leverage on existing infrastructure for us to offer these services. Yes, there is still need for investment in terms of finances for the fintechs, and I'm sure that those who are responsible for it, the investors and every people who have interest in driving digital payment and fintech, who are also listening, will look at ways where they can invest. Investment is still coming into the country. See where people get investment, and there are even local investors that are willing to invest. The one critical thing that is very important first is the solution that you're trying to solve. Here we are trying to solve a practical solution. This is a practical problem. People are actually, they are challenged on a daily basis. As we speak today, people are having difficulty to even move around with cash, because there is a maximum cash limit you can even move around according to the law of the country. So, and how do you want to sell more without having to have so much cash? That's why you're talking about digital. This is the problem that people think about every day. They wake up, they sleep with it, and wake up with it. And here, fintech, in partnership with PSB, trying to solve this problem. So let's focus more on the solution. And as we advance, finances and others will continue to creep in, to come in, because the opportunities are so enormous.
Thank you very much. So there's a critical point that you made, which is about collaborations between fintechs. And if there's anything, that is one of the things that work a lot in this industry, where we do a lot of shared services. We come together to collaborate and do a lot. And then, of course, we welcome investments. Investment is we welcome development every day.
Sure,
we need
of course.
money for expansion.
Scale.
Investment comes in. Nigeria is one of the highest destination for such investment. It keeps coming, and the reason why it keeps coming is because the opportunities are there and people see the
200
prospects.
million
Yeah,
people.
200
That's a
million
lot.
people that are active,
Potential customers. That's a
more
lot.
than 100 million mobile phones.
That's a lot.
Now, solutions are now available on the go, on the mobile. The RoutePay mobile app is available for you. You were talking about the other time about seeing your transactions, being able to see what you have done in a day and all those stuff like that. On the go, you can download, see, have a dashboard, see transaction volumes that you have.
Correct.
So the prospect is very, very huge. And because of that, people continue to bring in money to a finance business. So thank you very much, viewers at home. We really appreciate viewers at home, viewers in the offices. We are grateful for joining us in this session. Thank you so much. Thank you for the questions that you've asked. Thank you for listening to us. Thank you, Akim. We are in partnership and we'll continue to grow the partnership. Thank you very much and have a very wonderful day.